The killing of at least 20 people, including the 5 journalists in Israel's double strike on Nasser hospitals in Gaza, has generated global outrage. What Israel has called a tragic mishap is viewed abroad as something darker, a possible war crime, and the Human Rights Office insists, the UN Human Rights Office insists investigations must yield actual results, not just be announced and forgotten. For families of Israeli hostages still held in Gaza, this episode cuts even deeper. They see it in the same official evasions that have marked the government's handling of their loved ones' fate, excuses, delays, and a preference for military escalation over diplomatic settlement. Roughly 50 hostages remain in Gaza, only 20 are thought to be alive, though 2 of them are of uncertain status. 28 are presumed dead, their remains still withheld. Among them are dual nationals, Thai workers, even a Nepalese citizen. They are not faceless statistics, they are families scattered across Israel, waiting, grieving and pleading. And today those families have organised what they call a day of struggle, with roads blocked from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem, tyres set ablaze at Yakum Junction. Mothers with strollers marched on Hostages Square in Tel Aviv. Demonstrators stood in traffic with yellow blindfolds symbolising the hostages. The message is simple: stop the war, sign a deal, bring the hostages home. Eniv Zangalka, whose son Matan is still in Gaza, declared that Netanyahu fears only one thing: public pressure. She argues that the government could have ended this war and saved lives long ago, but chose to sacrifice civilians for political survival, for his political survival. Ruby Chen, the father of Itai Chen, told the government bluntly, get a deal done. He appealed to Donald Trump to hold Netanyahu to a deadline, recalling that the US president had promised families the hostages would come home. Dalia Kusnir, whose brother-in-law is still in captivity, urged even a partial deal, if that's the only path to a comprehensive one. These are not activists from the margins, they're ordinary people and siblings whose grief has turned them into campaigners. And the Hostages Square in Tel Aviv has become the beating heart of the movement. It's part vigil, part rally ground, part art installation, a physical reminder that until the hostages return, the war cannot be claimed as victory. The movement has also carried international weight. Enav Zalgalka travelled to Washington earlier this year, warning Trump that Netanyahu might sacrifice hostages for political ends. She has been recognised internationally, earned the BBC's 100 Women, and honoured with a Civil Society Award. Netanyahu insists military pressure is the only language Hamas understands. He frames hostage protests as weakening Israel's hand. But the families see things differently. Every day of bombardment hardens Hamas, diminishes the chance of a negotiated release, and risks killing the very people that Israel claims to defend. The double-tap hospital strike strikes this contradiction. How can a government that cannot protect journalists or civilians in Gaza claim credibly that it is safeguarding its own citizens still trapped there? The protest also reveals fissures within Israeli society. Nearly 2 years since October the 7th, many Israelis now believe Netanyahu is prolonging the war to prolong his rule. Public anger is no longer confined to the left. It's cross-cutting, rooted in the pain of the families who once supported him. Internationally, the optics are brutal. While foreign leaders condemn the hospital attack, Israeli police clear protesters off highways. Then the contrast reinforces the sense of a government out of step both with its own people and with the world. The hostage families chant, "We just want them back home." And that cry, humble yet uncompromising, has become a moral indictment of Netanyahu's war strategy. As one mother said today, the Prime Minister fears public pressure above all else. If that is true, then these protests are not merely symbolic, they are existential. And the real question now is, will pressure from the families, amplified by international outrage, finally force Netanyahu to trade military pride for human lives?